Nicole Austin-Hillery. She's the executive director of Human Rights Watch USA program. And, I wanted to talk to you because the fact is, these are humans. And in a storm, they're saying that humans should be evacuated. You have concerns about the fact that the governor has decided not to evacuate these prisoners.
Michaela, we have a lot of concerns. Basically, we think the governor is playing a Russian roulette, if you will, with the lives of these prisoners. I hear him say that the building structures are safe and sturdy, but that's not the barometer by which we measure when and whether to evacuate individuals from structures that are in the eye of a hurricane. The governor has a responsibility to keep all citizens of the state safe. That includes those people who are incarcerated in the state prisons. We should not be taking chances with their lives. We know from past experiences with other hurricanes, such as Katrina, that governments sometimes did the same thing, and there were huge costs. Prisoners discussed that they dealt with famine, that they dealt with infestation. There were investigations that were called for. We did a report at Human Rights Watch about the after effects of this. So it's simply not smart public policy. It's not good governing, if you will, to not take the lives of those prisoners into account when making decisions about evacuations.
If you press authorities, they'll say it is risky, both from a standpoint of prisoners having an opportunity to escape. It is a logistical nightmare trying to move some 600 plus prisoners in and around. What do you say to that, Nicole?
Michaela, I'm sure all of that is true, but that does not absolve the government from doing due diligence and keeping those prisoners safe. It is difficult. It can be chaotic, just as it is with moving citizens who are not incarcerated. But the government has a responsibility to try and keep those prisoners safe. In our society, we do not simply say, if you happen to be an incarcerated person, your life is of less value. Certainly it is not. Even though it is difficult, even though there may be some challenges, the government has a duty and a responsibility to protect those rights and to try and do what they can to ensure the safety and protection of those prisoners. And look, we saw, when the hurricane hit in Puerto Rico, of all the people that were evacuated, the number of prisoners that had any issues with that evacuation was pretty de minimis when you compared it to the number of prisoners that actually had to be moved. So the government simply can't say, this is a little bit hard and tough for us, therefore we won't do it and we'll put their lives in danger. No, they have a responsibility to try and safely and effectively move them. And if they're not, Michaela, they have a responsibility to the public to be transparent and to be very clear in terms of why they aren't moving them and what they're going to do as a result of not moving them to ensure their safety.
Well, we certainly know during hurricanes like Katrina and Harvey, inmates were left after with food and water shortages or worse. So the concerns after the storm passes are also obviously on your radar. Nicole Austin-Hillery with Human Rights Watch, thanks so much for joining us and adding your voice to the conversation.
You're welcome, Michaela. Thank you for having me.